Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here and welcome to BBallBreakdown. Game 2 of the Blazers-Warriors series went almost exactly opposite of Game 1. Where the Warriors led wire to wire in their Game 1 victory, the Blazers led for 42 minutes before a late fourth quarter run doomed them. A quick glance at the lineups used by Coach Terry Stotts showed that for 36 minutes, the top 4 lineups were ahead by comfortable margins. Unfortunately, it was every other lineup Stotts tried that did very poorly, particularly the 3 minutes of tiny ball with Aminu, Harkless, Henderson, Lillard, and McCollum that closed the game. Let's start out with the Blazers' running attack that got them an early 16-2 lead, done primarily by pushing the ball up the floor on the break. With Aminu able to push the ball on the dribble, it allows their 2 shooters in Lillard and McCollum to spot up on the perimeter for quick open shots. And when their center Mason Plumlee can lead the break, it puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the Warriors' defense. With Bogut out there, the Blazers were happy to run pick and rolls with his man. He is sinking way too low to be of any help on a shooter like McCollum. Coach Kerr tried Varejao, and to be honest, I can't fault him for giving Aminu all the room in the world, but the Chief could not be denied on this night with that shot put catapult. More Varejao cushioned on the pick and roll, allowing Henderson to penetrate at his own rhythm before finding Ed Davis for the roll and dunk. And again in the third quarter, Bogut simply cannot sink this low on a ball screen for Lillard. With a screen this high above the three-point line, Clay could certainly go underneath it to get around, but once he gets hung up, it's like shooting practice for Lillard. On this drag screen, it looked like Bogut adjusted and came up higher, but not enough. And he keeps his hands down as well, giving Lillard another hop into a wide open 3. Now, let's contrast this with Festus Ezeli, who didn't get off the bench until the end of the third quarter, and not coincidentally, it directly coincided with the Warriors' comeback. Watch how Ezeli gets both feet above the three-point line, is able to stay with McCollum down to the baseline, switches back onto his man, and is there for the long rebound. The Blazers try to run the same weave into ball screen that the Warriors run for Clay. It's natural Golden State would be ready for this, and look at this great hedge by Ezeli, and then a perfect switchback between him and Ian Clark. Props to defensive coach Ron Adams for advanced level rotations. And Ezeli's tremendous hustle to contest the Plumlee shot forces the miss. Midway through the fourth quarter, look how Ezeli is able to stay right with Lillard in ice defense. Now watch how Draymond rotates perfectly to shadow Plumlee, then eases off when Ezeli sprints to get him. While Ezeli does give Plumlee a step, it forced Plumlee to go full speed where he's not comfortable and the ball is turned over. And when you team Ezeli with Draymond Green, they're almost impossible to score on. Ezeli has both feet above the three-point line, moves laterally quickly enough to get in front of Lillard, and then there's Green, who can easily leave Harkless all alone in the corner to contest the Plumlee shot with verticality. Speaking of Draymond, in the absence of Steph Curry, he is even more important as their primary facilitator. After basic motion, the key is how Draymond attacks on the catch, gets right into the middle, and the second Ed Davis steps up to help, there's a perfect lob to Ezeli for the dunk. Later in the fourth, Draymond gets this score when Aminu gets completely on the wrong side of him before the ball is inbounded. Can you hear me shaking my head? Portland's offense struggled down the stretch, and the shots they were easily hitting in the first half suddenly stopped falling. Here, they don't get the ball moving at all, and Lillard hopes to draw contact on the shot, but the refs weren't having it. CJ also got caught up in taking a bad shot here, and with fatigue and pressure of being on the road, these shots are harder to make in the fourth quarter. And down 3, they catch Ezeli with a pin down, forcing him to be late on the pick and roll coverage, but Lillard can't get this one to fall. As if Draymond's offense wasn't hurting the Blazers enough, he put on a clinic on the defensive end. To give you an idea of what the Blazers are dealing with, Lillard cuts through to the left side, Clark gives him a little arm as he goes by, Draymond is calling out the switch between Barnes and Clay, who won't budge an inch down low versus Harkless. And Green is able to contest this shot, then with his long arms block Ed Davis at the rim and force a jump ball. Wow. And if you're not going to bring your A game to the party, Green has no use for you, keeping the ball in play so Ian Clark can race in, grab the loose ball, and take off down the court for a tough runner off the glass to try and ignite the team and the crowd. When the Blazers try to run the weave into ball screen for McCollum, there's Ezeli stepping out to hedge nicely. Perfect rotation by Iguodala, and Draymond Green expertly helps and recovers, stays with the smaller guard in Henderson, then cuts him off on his middle drive, contesting this shot till there was no hope it would ever get to the rim. And last but not least, while Ian Clark didn't fill up the box score, he gave them good minutes at the point guard spot, grabbing this rebound, pushing it up into their offense, coming around the Livingston curl. See how he uses the hop to fake the shot? No need to even move his arms, and he gets right into the middle of the paint, finishing the turnaround jump hook with touch. So there you have it, sports fans, a heartbreaking loss by the Portland Trail Blazers. And while they're down 2-0, the games have been very competitive, and Portland has some things that really hurt this Warriors team as presently constructed. While I'm sure the Warriors would love to rest Steph Curry the whole time, the Blazers appear to have enough in the tank that they can make life a little bit miserable up in Portland.